The Young Investigator Concerted Action Group is a group of 4 young investigators plus one leader, so 5, led by the Secretary General, Professor Laurent Castera, and is a group of young investigators who represented all the EASL young investigators to EASL Governing Board. And the main activity of YICAG is to promote educational activities for young investigators and to bring all the requests that the young investigators have to the Governing Board to promote and facilitate interaction between all the young investigators. Well, there are several activities, let's say. The main ones are the YI Forum and the YI Seminar, which are 2 sessions inside the ILC dedicated only to, or mainly to YI. And the forum usually is a meeting dedicated to, let's say, a non-properly scientific topic. So this year it will be how to become an independent researcher. So there are topics that can be of interest for young investigators. Whereas the seminar usually touch scientific aspects of hepatology. On top of that, we have also the YI Lounge, which is a dedicated spaces for YIs, where they can have a coffee, they can relax, they can meet other YIs, so they can do some networking. And on top of that, one of the most famous part of YI activities at ILC is the YI party. Usually is on Thursday night, and usually is a good occasion to meet other YI and to have a party all together. Well, EASL offer a lot to young investigators, starting from education, which is the most important part of EASL activities. If you think all the schools of hepatology, all the monothematic conferences, the masterclass. So the education offer is huge for young investigators. On top of that, there are several fellowship programs, and so the opportunity to get a grant, to fund your research, to fund an experience abroad, which is not always possible for young investigators, because it requires money, it requires time, and so EASL can favor these activities for young investigators. And then lastly, the networking, the opportunity to meet other people from all around Europe and all around the world, and to share experiences, to share research, to get in contact with other realities, with people who is doing the same research you're doing, but from a different perspective. So it can improve your research activity as well. Well, the EASL Masterclass is a new format we introduced a few years ago. Now this year will be the 4th Masterclass, and is a completely different event compared to the School of Hepatology or the Monothematic Conference. It is an occasion where the YI are at the center of the attention. Is dedicated to a small number of YIs, and usually around 30 pre-selected YIs. And during the masterclass, they present their scientific work. So there are oral presentations, but also there are presentations and there are activities on a completely different topics. Let's say how to present a paper, how to do a PowerPoint presentation, so something that is completely different from a scientific communication. And then there are team building activities. And it's a great occasion to meet senior experts on hepatology in a very informal way, and to have the chance to talk with them, to share experience with them, and to get suggestions from them as well. Well, there are several hot topics. Obviously, HCV and viruses always on top of interest because of the new drugs are coming on the market and the great success they're having in treating patients. But I believe that I love hepatology, so for me all the topics are interesting. But what is becoming more and more important is the translational medicines, so applying the basic science to the clinical daily activity. I'm not a basic scientist, so I'm a more practical doctor. But in looking medicine from a different perspective is always interesting. So HCV for sure, HCC as well. The postgraduate course has been on liver tumors. So the oncology interest in hepatology is really strong, and of course on metabolic disease, NASH. NAFLD will be the disease of the future when the HCV will be probably cured. I believe that NASH, NAFLD and NASH and all the metabolic disorders related to the liver are those that are mostly interesting me in this at this ILC and for my personal interest, obviously.